So, how are you doing, guys? The most important thing in this business is not to lose your mind. Today, I'll tell you what can happen to a loyal servant of the Emperor if he gets too carried away with bolter porn. Yes, yes, you too. 5 main traitors of the 40th millennium. These are the ones who betrayed after the Horus Heresy. You think there aren't any? Of course there are. Space gets boring. You just want to start some crazy stuff. Sit back. It'll be interesting. Let's start with some special ladies. The prophetess of Abaddon the Despoiler, named Mariana. Who is she anyway, you might ask? So guys, she was an advisor to the Emperor, who was later exiled from the Imperium. She's been around for thousands of years, and she can see even though she has no eyes. Intriguing, right? There are 2 origin versions. The first says Mariana was a member of an ultra-radical sect within the Inquisition called the Horusians, or Gorists. These people want to create a new leader of mankind, just like the Puritans and the Italians. Basically, they hope this powerful, godlike being will lead the Imperium into a perfect new world. And you don't even have to invent one. He's already sitting on the throne. You just need to use the same powers the cultists used to revive Horus. Obviously, these radicals are hated for such ideas. Mariana was their leader, so she was branded a heretic and had to leave the Imperium. Not just anywhere, but straight into the Eye of Terror, just like to Abaddon. Whatever happened, Mariana is a powerful psyker with a developed gift of prophecy, and now she flat out hates the Imperium. She's a real treasure for Abaddon, to whom she suggested starting the Gothic War and also pointed out the location of the Blackstone Fortress. That's what happens when you kick people like this out of the Imperium, like us. She can predict the future and sometimes deals with real chaos worshippers, like before the 13th Black Crusade. Voltramar came to her. Warsmith Hansu wanted to revive a demon prince named Inkramar. Mariana agreed to help, but made him swear he'd finish the Ultramar invasion no matter what. Mariana works not only with chaos worshippers, but also with the Imperium. Once, Inquisitor Ordo Malleus Fight Horst came to her for advice, looking for the artifact Eye of Night, which could somehow expand his cause. She told him where to find it, and for this he ultimately paid with his body. Inquisitor Katharina Greyfox also visited her with the same question. Mariana personally led her to the right world, where there was some wild demonic brawl. During that, Inquisitor Fight Horst finally died, leaving behind a little black artifact from his skull, the very one all the orders have chased for millennia. All right, Mariana plays her own game and isn't about to stop. Besides her, chaos worshippers, the Inquisition, and really the whole Imperium are all tangled up in it. Where this will lead, we'll see. Maybe it's already a big move the Emperor himself started long ago. Number 2 today is a party with Cranon. That's right, Sevastus Cranon, also known as Cranon the Relentless, former master of the Crimson Sabers, and now Chaos Lord of the Crimson Slaughter. In today's super video, this guy was always totally crazy, even when he served the Emperor, just killing everyone left and right with his boys. His chapter was cursed too. I think today's video is closely tied to the one about Ardan the Traitor, who went through betrayal after the Horus Heresy. I really want to make that one too. So, Cranon was so nuts that one day he gathered all his officers and headed into exile in the Eye of Terror, where the forces of chaos corrupted the whole crew, especially Cain, who loves crazy space marines. Sevast renamed himself Cranon the Relentless and started doing even more vile and bloody things on the battlefield, just to silence the voices in his head. That always works, right? But Cain's curse is no joke. You can't get rid of it so easily. For a long time, Cranon tried to drown out the voices and started looking for the Hellstone, some artifact that could stop the curse. To make it work, he needed someone for the ritual. Along came the Dark Angels, Crainan chopped up a bunch of them and captured a sergeant named Orion to use as a sacrifice, but Orion killed himself, ruining Crainan's plans. Of course, the Dark Angels wanted revenge, and later, Librarian Turnir predicted that Crainan would team up with another Chaos Lord, then be cornered in space. The Dark Angels joined forces with the Space Wolves and set up a real ambush for Crainan, which ended with him just running away, because Chaos Lords aren't easy to catch. Now he leads one of the strike groups in the 13th Black Crusade, smoothly turning into the 14th. He took part in the fall of Cadia, and even cut off Warpsmith Lantor's hand, who possessed Librarian Mon's body in the Eye of Terror. After that, demons stopped greeting him, because seriously, what the hell? Let's dive into the mysterious Kiras. Remember Azariah Kiras, a heretic and chaos worshipper who infiltrated the Blood Ravens and corrupted most of his chapter. The Blood Ravens are pretty cursed, but you can't deny their loyalty. Azariah Kiras is one of those who seriously tested the Blood Ravens' honor. When the chapter faced the great Nurgle demon Ulcair, Kiras disappeared. He reappeared 500 years later, possessed by the demon Tartarus. He was discovered by the Blood Ravens expedition, led by Captain Apollo Diomedes. During the campaigns against Chaos and Tyranids, he helped the chapter survive and made a name for himself. But not all Blood Ravens were freed. Some were still trapped. At that moment, thanks to Kiras, Captain Corrigan made a deal with Ulcair to save the rest of the Blood Ravens. Gallius became possessed by a demon, and those who opposed Kiras were killed or forcibly converted to chaos. When the expedition returned, these events were called the Emperor's Mercy. Kiras was welcomed into the chapter and made commander of the 5th Company. For centuries, Azariah showed no sign of corruption, infecting many Blood Ravens with chaos. Eventually, he became chapter master, and Grandfather Nurgle applauded Ulcair's success through his servant Kiras. Azariah made all sorts of chaos deals to strengthen himself and his loyal brothers. The only one who distrusted him was Gabriel Angelos, who became more suspicious by the day. Eventually, he got proof of Kiras's betrayal, but it was too late. Most of the Blood Ravens worshipped chaos. During this time, Angelus declared Kiras a traitor, sparking civil war in the Aurelian sector. Kiras openly declared himself a chaos worshipper and showed he had a powerful ally, a party with Corrigan, Gallius. For his efforts, Azariah finally became a true demon prince and proved himself in battle against Gabriel Angelus. But despite Angelus's difficulties, Gabriel eventually killed Kiras and became the new chapter master. The remaining traitors were finished off by allies. It's pretty funny that the Blood Ravens were hiding such a big threat in their ranks. Number 4, Huron Blackheart. And here's a story about someone who wanted to do good, but ended up like always. Huron became a chaos worshipper, not because he was seduced by chaos, or the gods corrupted him, but because he was betrayed. Huron was master of the astral claws, fighting at the edge of the maelstrom against the forces of darkness. But he always complained the Imperium didn't care, and refused to send reinforcements. The astral claws would be wiped out, so Huron decided to save his sons by performing forbidden gene seed rituals, expanding his chapter into a legion. The newly improved astral claws could defend and attack, so they started their own campaign. He claimed his own throne world, and announced all nearby worlds had to pay tribute, and he'd defend them. Not everyone liked this, and some snitched to the Imperium, starting the famous Badab War that lasted almost 10 years. The Imperium sent lots of Space Marine chapters. Thousands died. Whole stars were destroyed. In the end, the Loyalists drove the Astral Claws into the Maelstrom, into the fortress of the Palace of Thorns. After the meat grinder, most of the chapter was dead, and Huron was badly wounded. The captain of the Star Phantoms hit him with a plasma blast, which is no joke. The Astral Claws took their wounded master and hid in the Maelstrom. Huron, horribly burned, lost half his body and desperately clung to life. After hundreds of surgeries, he reappeared fused with machines and tortured by constant pain. He painted his armor red in memory of his fallen brothers and declared himself not just Huron, but Huron Blackheart, and his order became the Red Corsairs. Everyone who stuck with him in that tough fight did the same, at least painting their armor too. Ever since, Huron and his Corsairs have conquered worlds in the Maelstrom and regularly raid the Imperium with maximum cynicism, killing loyalists. Many renegades join Huron's army every day, and he's close with Abaddon, taking part in his crusades. Abaddon gave him the Blackstone Fortress on their first meeting. So if you see someone like Huron out there, you'd better run. It won't end well. Huron wants not just total destruction of all loyalists, but also to take the throne himself, because he thinks it belongs to him. That's how it is. If only the Imperium had sent reinforcements at the right time, maybe none of this would have happened. Think girls in Warhammer 40.000 don't betray? Nonsense. Take Miriael Sabathiel, who was actually the elder sister in the Adepta Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle. She's the only Sister of Battle who willingly turned from the Emperor and became the champion of Slaanesh. She was the first non-Space Marine Slaanesh champion in the Imperium. What Miriael did in her youth is unknown, but probably the usual Sororitas stuff. The story really started during the battle on the planet Ivredicona, where the Sisters of Battle fought the Emperor's children. After that, Miriael disappeared. Some say she was captured by the Chaos Lord Balthazar Fort, who corrupted her and made her Slaanesh's servant, but more likely she went over to Chaos on her own. She became one of the most powerful Slaanesh champions. When the Adepta Sororitas found out, they declared a hunt for her. Many sisters swore to bring her to justice, but often became part of her retinue or died in traps. What exactly she was doing there, maybe showing off new Slaanesh secrets. Her former order, especially Olga Krivanskaya, chased her down. When they finally caught up, it was a trap. Olga and her people died at Miriael's hands, or rather, at the hands of the demon possessing her, aided by a mighty rune sword called the Organizer. This sword is connected to a needle in Miriael's hand, which pumps her full of terrible drugs synthesized by Slaanesh champions. After dealing with her pursuers, Miriael turned her attention to the Eldar, whom Slaanesh loves above all. In her free time, she disrupts the Imperium's plans, like destroying Prime, turning the world's temples to the Prince of Pleasure. Everyone there lost their minds. Miriael grows more respected every day. It's only a matter of time before she gathers the biggest warband of Emperor's children. Miriael plans to lead her own crusade against anyone who rejects the Prince of Pleasure. Sooner or later, she'll do it. Those are the nasty traitors of the 40th millennium. If you enjoyed the video, write in the comments. Maybe I'll make a sequel. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and support Warhammer on this channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Subscribe to our Telegram, and check out more videos on Hobbs Play. There's tons of them.